All right, awesome. You made it to the other side. That means you really, really want to see this illustration, and I don't blame you. This is really going to definitely expand your knowledge and growing money and creating generational wealth for your family. So let's get right into this. This is an actual illustration for Susie Q, as we can see right here. She is a fictional made up name. Obviously, I can't put a real name on this illustration. However, she's a 2-year-old kid, and the figures that we're going to be looking at are very, very real. Okay, now just to give you a little background, what we're looking at is an index universal life insurance policy. Okay, now basically, this is a life insurance policy that is attached to a savings fund that grows all the premiums with inside the savings fund, creating cash value. Now, that may sound like it just went over your head. It's okay, just keep that in the back of your head because I'm going to take you step by step on how this works, and we're going to see how long it's going to take for Susie Q to become a millionaire by just investing $100 a month. All right, so let's get into this. So as we see, the monthly premium is at $100 a month, and since she's a 2-year-old, that automatically gives her $341,000 death benefit. Okay, now obviously, parents, we don't want to talk about our kids dying or anything like that. But obviously, it's still good to have life insurance on your kids for many reasons, because there's living benefits to having policies like this, which is the main reason why you're on this this video. But also, I have to let parents know as well that with this $341,000 that Susie Q has as a death benefit, if Susie Q ever was diagnosed with any critical illness, you know, the family could come in here and take out a really nice amount of money. Depending on how serious it is, they can take this whole lump sum out to help her fight any critical illness she may be facing. Okay, so I just want to, put that information out here because, a lot of families don't know that. So you have a pretty nice protection for your kid if they're ever critically ill here. And then they're only paying $100 for a month for it. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff, which is what everyone wants to hear. How is this going to grow my money? How is this going to create wealth for my kid? Okay, so here we go. This is the nook and cranny of it. These are all the numbers and figures and the whole illustration that's really going to unlock your eyes to look at life insurance differently. I tell people all the time, normal people or poor people, normal people typically buy life insurance in case you die. Okay, rich people, they purchase life insurance in case they live too long. So it's two different mindsets. Most people have never looked at life insurance this way before, especially looking at this particular product, which is an index universal life insurance. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to take it slow, but you are going to know exactly how this works. So that way you can make an educated decision for your kids whether this is something worth investing in. All right, so again, we talked about it earlier. You got your $100 a month. We're investing $100 a month. Okay, and that's going to give Susie Q $341,000 and some chump change, right? Okay, so if anything happens to Susie Q, God forbid, this is what's going to the family. And also, if Susie Q ever gets critically ill, they can fight that illness with this, okay? Which I think is great, So now let's get into how we're going to make Susie Q a millionaire. All right, so again, $100 a month. So every year, Susie Q's parents are investing $1,200 a year, okay? $1,200 a year. And that's maintaining her $341 life insurance policy. And that $1,200 is going into a savings fund. Okay, so let's kind of jump down for 10 years. Okay, so they did this for 10 years, which gave them a total of $12,000 they invested into Susie Q. So Susie Q, at this age, she is 12 years old. Parents invested $12,000 over time. And let's see what she's looking like at year 12, which is 10 years of investing $100 a month. Okay, so if you follow my mouse, okay, I want you to pay attention to this right here. She still has her $341,000 face value benefit here. This is in case something happens to Susie Q. And if we look right here, this $11,224, this is her surrender value. Okay, so if Susie Q's parents says, I think we're gonna stop paying for this policy now, maybe we don't want to do it, or maybe we're gonna move to a different country, and we're not gonna be able to use this anymore. Okay, well, the surrender value means that this is the amount that is going to be surrendered back to her family in 10 years. So they invested $12,000, and they already have a surrender value of $11,224. Okay, the account value is $11,832. Okay, so if Susie Q or her parents or anything like that ever needed to come in here and take some money to use it for whatever, hopefully something educational, then they can come in here and they could take out and use it. Okay, so they invested $12,000, only got $11,224 in it. Okay, and that's over 10 years. Okay, but remember, they've also been paying for that protection. Okay, so let's go down to 20 years. In 20 years, Susie Q's parents have invested $24,000. Okay, $24,000. Susie is now 22 years old. Okay, she's in college. They invested so far $24,000 into Susie's universal life insurance policy. And let's see what we got over here. Okay, well, she still got a death benefit of $341,000. But let's look at the surrender value. Let's look at what happened here. It practically doubled. Okay, the more money you have in your account, the faster the interest is going to grow. So it practically doubled. All right, go ahead, Susie Q. Okay, so Susie Q now has an account that has $39,000 in surrender value. So if they ever decided to cash out this account, they're gonna get $39,000 from it. If Susie Q ever needed to borrow to maybe help pay for books or some college tuition, she has $39,000, and she also still has her life insurance policy, which has a death benefit of $341,000. Okay, now let's go down to year 30. Okay, Susie Q is 32 years old. Her and her parents, I'm assuming maybe she's contributing this, or maybe she's took it over by now. They've now all contributed $36,000 over 30 years. Let's see what happened. Well, it practically tripled. Okay, now she still has her death benefit of $341,000. Also, their protection in case Susie Q ever comes down with a critical illness, she'll be protected with that. And then she has a surrender value of $96,000. So wait, they invested $36,000, and Susie Q at the age of 32 years of age has $96,000. Wow. Okay. I don't know if that's impressive to you, but that's pretty impressive to me. Okay, so they pretty much tripled her money. This is just paying $100 a month. Okay, now let's go down to age 40. We're going to skip age 50, and we're going to go to age 60. Now, in 40 years, paying just $100 a month, Susie Q's now 42. After 40 years, they've invested $48,000. But let's look at what's going on here. Okay. Susie Q has generated $219,000, 655. Okay. That's what Susie Q has as a surrender value. So if she ever cashed out this policy, Susie Q is going to have almost $250,000. Okay. After just investing $100 a month from the time she was a kid. Okay. Now look at what happened over here. Her DB, her death benefit, actually increased. Okay. Well, why did it increase? Well, the reason why it increased is because her money is growing so much now that the insurance company, there's a certain percentage that they have to make sure that, they cover in order to, basically legally be able to insure her. So, for example, if Susie's paying $100 a month for $341,000 of insurance, but she has a surrender value of like 219, then what they would have to do is they would either have to drop the premium to, so that everything kind of equals out, or what they typically do, they just increase the face. Okay. So that way everything begins to kind of equalize out. Okay. So now let's get year 50 and let's go to year 60. Okay. Now year 60, after 60 years, Susie Q 62, but in 60 years, she's invested only $72,000. $72,000 over 60 years is not that bad. Okay. 60 years, $72,000. Now let's look what happened over here. By age 60, I think it's fair to say that Susie Q is a millionaire. I think it's fair to say. Just $100 a month. I think it's fair to say Susie Q is a millionaire. I think she's $1,000 off. And then she also has a $1.2 million death benefit. So if she ever dies, her grandchildren are going to be, in her family and their whole estate are going to be pretty well off, and this is how you do it. This is really how you start to create generational wealth. You teach your family how to do the same thing. So I think it's fair to say, if it's okay with you, that Susie Q is a millionaire by age 62. And if you think that's not fair, okay, we'll just go to age 63. Okay, there we go. She's a millionaire by age 63. All right. And that money keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. And just for fun, we're going to go down to age 80. Or she'll be 82. At age 82, she's invested only $96,000. And she has $4 million. So, you see how powerful this can be? Just $100 a month. $100 a month. And you are literally changing the infrastructure of your generation. You are literally changing the DNA of your family's financial, lineage, so this is awesome. So this is what we call the baby millionaire. If this is something that interests you and you would like to get your own personal illustration for your child, and I can email it to you, and that way you have it. And if this is something you want to put in place, please give us a call here. This is very important, And I really hope that you take the time to invest in your child's future. This is BJ Hollins with Bakerville Financial Life, and I hope you had an amazing time going over this illustration. Again, just opt in below, send us your name, number, we'll get a hold of you, we'll make you an illustration, and we will hopefully be able to put something in place for you and your family. All right, thank you so much. Have a God bless day. Bye.